Okay, so we're going to go on to public comment, just a couple of reminders. And we certainly want to hear from all of you. It's important, public comment is very important. I just want to remind everyone that to eliminate the repetitiveness, if you still want to stand up and someone has already said something, just you're welcome to stand up and state your name for the record and address, and also just say in support. And that's just to keep that repetitiveness from going on and on and on. But please, we do welcome public comment. So we just want to make sure that we're respecting everyone's time. Okay, 3 minutes. And I do have a list here, and we're going to start with those that are in the chambers, and then we'll go on to those that are joining us virtually. Okay, the first one is Carlos Arguello. Please come on up. Good to see you, Mr. Arguello.
Good morning, commissioners,
Good morning.
staff, and interested community members. I come before you with two different hats. One is a commissioner of the Acequias and another as a resident of one of the valleys there, one of the communities. Dear Taos County Board of Commissioners, this is my letter of support for the designation of Las Comunidades del Valle de los Ranchos as a traditional historic community. As a commissioner on the Acequia del Monte del Rio Chiquito, I request my comments be recorded and entered into the minutes of the Taos County Board of Commissioners meeting held on December 20th, 2022. I fully support the application for traditional historic community designations pushed before you by the citizens of Las Comunidades del Valle de los Ranchos. I strongly encourage your positive vote for protecting the Acequia culture and traditions that weave these 5 communities together. These communities each is unique in its own way, with history dated back centuries as documented in the application. Although unique, they are all bonded together by shared acequias. The vibrant acequia culture that exists throughout the communities should be protected. The neighboring municipalities which present the threat of annexation has in the past shown a disregard in protecting acequias. There is a history here that has encroached, blocked, diverted, and allowed the destruction of acequias, whereby some no longer exist. These results are unacceptable. I implore this Board of Commissioners to grant the designation. This will ensure your constituents of these communities attaining some protection and peace of mind from the threat of future annexation. Your decision today will have an impact for years to come to this unique area of Taos County. Will you protect the pastoral agricultural nature of these communities for our children and grandchildren and future generations? Will you protect the acequia culture so it continues to thrive? On behalf of the Acequia del Monte del Rio Chiquito, your approval will be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your consideration and your time. That's one hat. My other hat is as a community member, and growing up here, a longtime resident. At one point in time, where we're sitting here today was the edge of the town. As we can tell now, it extends quite a bit further to the south. And this designation will go a long way into the future in protecting that south end of Taos Valley and its uniqueness and in its ability to have a voice in how things progress. That being said, I want to make note that as I look up to the selected body, I see women taking the lead in protecting our communities. I see you and I appreciate you. Thank you very much, and I pray for a positive vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next we've. Mr. Fernandez, you want to come up? We can certainly accommodate you before you leave, or? Yeah. I don't think anyone will mind. Thank you all. Mr. Fernandez, would you state your name for the record and where you live?
My name is David Fernandez, and my family and I are property owners, water rights owners in La Cordillera. And just again, very briefly, I respectfully request that the commission vote to establish the Las Comunidades del Valle de los Ranchos de Taos, because for all reasons that have been eloquently stated before. And so I got to leave because my grandson just came in from McAllen, Texas to be with me for a little while, and
Very
I'm
nice.
going to go get with him. So
Thank you.
anyway,
Priorities, yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Your family first.
thank you all. And thanks to all the people from centuries ago who built this up.
Mhm.
A lot of us weren't around, maybe some of us were around. But anyways, glad it's come to this point, and thanks again to everybody, and Feliz Navidad and Prospero Año Nuevo to everyone también.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. John MacArthur is next.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is John MacArthur. I'm a commissioner on the Acequia del Monte del Rio Chiquito and a board member of the Taos Valley Acequia Association. And as such, I'm very cognizant of the cohesive aspect of the acequia system in the Rio Grande del Rancho Valley. The acequias, from the diversions within the foothills above the valley to the Rio Pueblo desagües, are one single network. It does not have internal boundaries. The system completely ties together the 5 neighborhoods of Talpa, Llano Quemado, Ranchos de Taos, La Cordillera, and Los Cordovas into one community. As others have mentioned or will mention, this system almost perfectly overlaps the St. Francis Parish that also historically has tied these neighborhoods into one community. This is not a coincidence. The Acequia del Monte del Rio Chiquito, of which I am a commissioner, meanders northerly very nearly to the south boundary of Taos limits, to the town limits. We're concerned that should this designation not be approved, that continued high density or commercial development could drastically alter or completely destroy the irrigated agricultural character of our neighborhood of Talpa and the rest of the Rio Grande del Rancho community. We understand that nothing in this designation would allow any new constricting regulations or preclude development besides the restrictions on annexation and extraterritorial zoning. But we also understand that by giving this protection to our area, land use decisions would remain with the county, with you guys, and we locals in the greater Ranchos Valley would maintain some standing in the decision-making process. We strongly urge that you accept this designation proposal. Thank you. And it's going to sound like repetitive, I think. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Tommy Tafoya? He had to leave, okay. Elizabeth Betsy. Hello?
Hello, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and community. I speak for myself and my husband, Robert Martinez, who runs Joe's Service Center in Ranchos, and we live in Ranchos for 37 years. We also farm in La Cordillera, and we strongly support this.
Thank you. And now we've got Amy Gonzalez.
Hi, thank you, Commissioners, for all the work you do. And thank you to the whole community. I came kind of late into the game here, but I'm a volunteer. So I wrote emails to each one of the commissioners, but I just want to reiterate that both my husband and I are in support of designation of Las Comunidades del, I'm a Jersey girl, so I'm going to botch this, the pronunciation, del Valle de los Ranchos as a traditional historic community. I am a commissioner on Acequia de Bajo la Loma, and I have learned a great deal from being here. But my husband and I live in Llano Quemado. We have worked hard to restore my husband's family land back to its use as an active agricultural property that depends upon water from 3 acequias. We do a lot of ditch digging. Acequia del Bajo la Loma, the Saucito Ditch, and the Acequia del Finado Francisco Martinez. So I'm a commissioner on the Acequia de Bajo La Loma. The Acequias and the Rio Grande El Ranchos is the lifeblood of our community. We also own líneas that go up all the way up to Picoras Peak, where our ancestors drove sheep and procured firewood. Our house contains paintings and carvings created by Ed's grandmother and grandfather, who also painted and carved art at the Sagebrush. So if you go into the ladies' room, I don't know about the men's room, but if you go in the ladies' room of the old, or in the old restaurant, you'll see the paintings that his grandmother did, the little cherub on the wall. And we've taken those paintings that she's done, and they're all throughout our house. So we just see that there's so much history in this land, and I would have asked that you approve this designation. Thank you.
Thank you. And next is our former county commissioner, Andrew Chavez. And Andrew, I know you think I'm going to stand because you're in front of me, but I need to stand. You know what it's like on this. No, it's good to see you.
I thought, my name's Andrew Chavez. I am from Llano Quemado, but I was going to say, I thought you were just going to show that you're taller than I am.
This is the only way, probably.
But I was, Madam Chair, Commissioners, I was going to first of all thank the commissioners for their service, and Ms. O'Donnell, Commissioner O'Donnell, I was going to personally thank you for making sure that you were here at your last regular meeting. I noted there's a couple of other people not here, but anyway, I represent Llano Quemado Mutual Domestic Water Consumers Association that provides water for drinking water for our community. As you see in the letters that are included in the packet, the board keeps our mutual domestic water users informed about what's going on. We inform them about the gathering of signatures. A lot of people participated in that process, and in addition, I'd like to thank Cynthia and Hank for cracking the whip every time that we needed to do something. And so they provided the direction. I also serve on the board for the Community Center of Llano Quemado, and both those organizations and their users are in favor of this designation. And so thank you very much for listening to us and for your service. Thank you.
It's nice to see you, Mr. Chavez. Next, we've got Del Torres.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Del Torres. I'm from Talpa. I'm over here speaking to you on behalf of Valle Rancho Sanitation District. I'm the Vice President of that. I'm also the President of the Talpa Community Water System. I also am in charge of the cemetery in Talpa, which also includes some morada on there with a lot of historic stuff on there. I just want to, there's a lot of people want to speak and all that, so I'll make it short. All of our organizations fully support this, and we urge you just to come in and vote to approve it. Thank you.
Thank you. And we've got, let's see, Alicia Mason Miller. Did I get that right? Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. We've got Dave Miller. Mr. Miller?
Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
I'll represent the newbie voice. We just moved to Talpa 4 years ago. We love it there. And the way that we first learned about the deep history of it was by examining the title to our house. And multiple pages of the San Cristobal de la Serna land grant were in the history of our property. We greatly value that. We also greatly value all the Pinon jays, the coyotes on our front porch, the elk on our back porch, the church, of course, the moradas we deeply love, and especially our water. In the midst of a 1,000-year record drought, I believe that 80% of the people in this historic district all live off water wells. We do, and that's of great importance to all of us. Thank you very much.
And thank you. We've got Mr. Toby Martinez.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I've been involved in the effort to make this happen for quite some time, but I kind of wore out, and some very good people picked up the ball and made it happen. I am currently a chairman of the Jarosa Ditch that runs right down the middle of the valley. Have been involved with the Ranchos Neighborhood Association for many years. Not currently on the board, but have been in the past. Have also been an officer on the Acequia del Rio Grande. And for all the reasons that have been stated, I also support this effort. And I also want to thank not only Hank and Cynthia, but all the other people that have helped with petitions and keeping things moving forward. So thank you. And I say without saying it, that I am fully in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. And we've got Michael Torres. By the way, he's a great neighbor.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Michael Torres, and having been born, raised, and still living in the community of Valle de los Ranchos, I come here in support of what we've been talking about all day, and I'd like to read it with your permission, a short statement that we have. We, the Commissioners of the Acequia del Finado Martínez de Llano Quemado, write this letter of support for las comunidades del Valle de los Ranchos in our cooperative effort acquire the designation as a traditional community. The communities of Ranchos, including Llano and Talpa, through our acequias flow, have a rich fabric, and we are connected by history, culture, and traditions. Ranchos is still predominantly a rural area and has its own unique pastoral history and historic structures and landmarks such as acequia that sets us apart from the rest of Taos Valley. Ranchos is a historic, unincorporated area with a distinct character that should be protected and designated as a traditional historic community. Thank you very much today.
Thank you. Okay, that I believe concludes those on the list.